In January, the year is young, it's fresh, everything seems possible. But February is a whole different beast. The new year energy is gone. The goals are like half forgotten. You haven't really started working on them. You feel behind. You feel sluggish. You feel like you're not achieving what you want to achieve. But to this I say, stop. Hold on a minute. It's not too late because February has potential. February can be your month, can be my month. It's not too late and we can get started and crush February. So let's talk about how, against all odds, you can make February the best month of this year. Tip number 1, pick one input goal. So I bet you have made like a whole list of goals for the year. I know I have, and I have made a video about it on the channel. But the thing with goals is you cannot achieve all of them at the same time. So what we're going to do in February is pick one goal, only one, not 3, only one goal. And then we're going to put it at the top of our weekly to-do list, at the very top. Every single week, this is the first thing you're going to start your to-do list with. And after that, you're going to plan your week, do your whole to-do list thing as you usually do, with the difference that you will see and have the main goal that you're working on at the top of this list. This will force you to pick one focus and work on one goal for this entire month of February. And if you're not in the habit of making a weekly to-do list, it is a game changer. Like, I advise you to start doing a weekly to-do list, not like a daily list, but to have like your whole week planned out, see what you got to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on, and kind of spread your tasks around the entire week instead of just having one long to-do list and then having to like decide each day what you're going to work on. And this brings me to tip number 2, and that is to create a Sunday reset routine. I'm sure you can watch like some inspirational videos here on YouTube of like good Sunday reset routines. I can tell you a little bit about mine. So every single Sunday I make no appointments, no dates, no social gatherings, nothing. I completely clear my calendar. This helps me to feel like I have the whole day just to myself and I can do whatever I want. I can relax. I can prepare for the week. And usually what I do is like clean the apartment. I usually do that with my partner together. He does the vacuuming. I do the laundry. We do our little apartment routine and everything looks nice. Everything looks fresh and cozy. And then once I've cleaned, I chill out a little bit. I watch my favorite shows. I do nothing. Or maybe I do go outside for a walk, get a sweet treat, or maybe spontaneously I do go like see a film or something. But then I have another crucial part to my Sunday reset routine, and that is to sit down, look at my calendar, and to plan the week ahead. I personally do that in the Notes app of my phone. I found that this is like the best place for me to access my to-do list. And I also go through my Google Calendar and cross-reference like all the appointments and stuff that's coming up for the next week. And then I spread my tasks around for each and every single day so that my week feels organized and good, that I feel like I know what's going to happen in the next week and I feel prepared. And then what I've also started doing is to do a weekly review. And that's actually tip number 3, incorporate a weekly review in your routine. So while I'm planning my week ahead, I also take the time to look back at the past week and note down any highlights of that week. Like, what did I enjoy? Did any cool things happen that week? Did I complete any cool tasks? Did I have any small like wins or achievements? I just reflect mostly on the positive stuff because I don't want to be dwelling on what didn't go well. But sometimes I also add a section called learnings. And in that section, I write down everything that I learned that week. It could be just a quote or a piece of information that I got from listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos, but it could also be something that finally like clicked for me and that I want to do differently in an upcoming week, like switch filming days from Wednesdays to Thursdays or something like that, that helps me to actually progress in whatever I'm doing from one week to the next. Tip number 4 for crushing your February is to incorporate some type of gratitude practice. I love me a good gratitude practice. I feel like it has such a big positive impact on your life. Whatever your life might be, wherever you are, whatever you have or don't have, being grateful and actually mindfully reminding yourself to be grateful for the stuff we have achieved, for the stuff we do have, for the people who we have in our lives. It is such a positive little thing you can do for yourself, and you can do it any time of the day. You can do it once a week. But I would say if you haven't established a good gratitude practice yet, start by doing it every single day and maybe make it part of your evening routine or morning routine to just note down 3 little things that you are grateful for. And this will just help you to generally have a more positive outlook on your life and feel more motivated to actually do some stuff and to get ahead. The next tip I have for crushing the month is to reduce your social media use. Being on the apps is just such a time suck, and it's such an energy suck as well. If you're not like using it for your work every single day for like hours and hours, and I know that most of us aren't just using it for work, we are just mindlessly scrolling the apps. And whatever app you are addicted to, like I know that people can be addicted to Reddit. I know like I can get addicted to YouTube. I can get addicted to Instagram, but everybody has their own like platforms, and you probably know which one you are addicted to. And I have found the best app that has helped me over the past weeks to dramatically reduce my social media use and to not be on my phone as much, and that is Opal. I think it's mostly available for iPhone. I don't think it's available for Android yet. I think they're working on it for the future. And by the way, this video is not sponsored by them or anything, but I just love how it completely blocks me from using those apps in the time frame that I set out. So basically how it works is you can define within the app like which windows of time you want to be blocked from certain apps on your phone, and then it will completely block your access from that and you just cannot access it. Of course, you could go into the app and like disable the whole thing, but it's an extra step of work, and like why would you do that, right? Like you are doing this for yourself and there's just no point in like de-blocking yourself. I will put a link to the app down below, and I think if you use like my code, you can get like a 30-day free trial for the pro version. But honestly, I'm just currently using the free version, and the free version is working wonders. So you don't even need to upgrade to the pro plan if you don't want to. Honestly, the free version is totally fine. And while we are on the topic of eliminating time sucks from your day, I have had a game changer, and I definitely want to share this tip with you. And that is basically to just cancel and delete any like subscription things that don't really bring value to your life, or that you find like you are just wasting your time on them. So for me, that was Netflix. I canceled Netflix last month and I'm not really missing it. So I feel like it's a win-win situation. I'm like saving time and I'm also saving money. And of course, I tell myself like, if I desperately want to get it back, I can. But at the moment, I'm not really missing it. So I feel like it saves me time and money, which is great. I also deleted like Audible because I was just hoarding audiobooks on there. And I basically like used up all my credits to get the books that I want. And now I have made a rule for myself that until I finished listening to all the books that I have, I'm not going to reactivate my account. The next tip that I have, tip number 7, and that is to plan out some highlights for yourself for the month in advance. That could be like a social date with a friend of yours, like a movie outing, or a visit to a specific restaurant that you've always wanted to try. That could be scheduling date night with your partner or an outing with your family, like whatever like feels like a real highlight to you. Plan and schedule it ahead of time so you have something maybe for each week or every other week that you can be looking forward to. And this will guarantee to make your month so much better because you always have this like vision for your week and you always have like a little reward waiting for you. And by planning it ahead, you can just make sure that it's going to happen And I feel like we need to treat ourselves. We need to like make life good and interesting and take care of our future self together. And the next tip I have is tying into that. And that is not only to plan stuff with other people, but also plan a nice little date with yourself. I know it can be hard if you have like a really tight work schedule or if you have like family and kids that you need to take care of, but maybe you can negotiate with your partner like a little time slot within the month or every other week that you can just have to yourself and where you can plan something that only you want to do, that only you enjoy. Like take yourself on a solo date and do like a proper me time moment. Maybe you want to go see a specific movie that nobody else wants to see with you. Or maybe you want to go to the museum and look at some art. I love to do those kind of dates, like go to a museum, see a photo exhibition, and then have a little coffee and a little cake maybe. Or maybe it is like going shopping and browsing like the mall or your favorite store or something like that. Like just consciously taking time for yourself and spending like time that only belongs to you. The next tip that is guaranteed to make your month so much better. And if you actually implement this next tip, it can make your whole year better. It can make like your whole financial life better. And that is to establish a pay yourself first routine. So if you haven't heard the concept pay yourself first before, it's basically a rule and a system where whenever you get your paycheck, before like paying any of your bills, you have some money that goes out straight off your checking account into a savings account. And that is money that is taking care of you and your financial future. And honestly, the point of starting this month is not about like saving crazy amounts of money. It's just to establish the habit and the routine. And then you can see how you feel about this and like up the amount in the future. But whether it is like $5 that you can set aside every month, or maybe it's something like $50 or $100, or maybe, you can be ambitious and save like $200. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's the gesture and the routine and the habit that counts. And also what it is signaling to yourself that you are paying yourself first. You're taking care of yourself first. You're putting on your own oxygen mask first before you're taking care of everybody else around you. So if you can only manage to do one thing from the list of tips that I'm giving you today, I urge you to implement this single tip because it's going to basically not only change your month, but it can change your life. So the next tip I want to give you is concerning like the end of the month. So once we get like near the end of February, the best thing that you can do for your mental health and your organization and for like feeling good is to actually do a monthly review. So it's a similar routine for me, like the weekly review, only that I sit down with a hot beverage or a cold beverage, and I go through my calendar and I also go through my weekly to-do lists and ask myself, like, what actually happened this month? What were the highlights of this month? What did I do with friends? Did I go on any solo dates? What were little moments that I cherish and that I want to remember? And honestly, that I'm grateful for. And this routine really helps me of like not feeling like the weeks and the days and the years are just flying by, because we all know like time feels like it's speeding up the older that we get. But this way I feel like, no, actually I did do a lot this month and I did make progress and I did achieve some of my goals and I had amazing moments. I had great food and had a lovely date with my partner, and I make this into a ritual and into a list. And then by the end of the year, guess what? I'm going through every single month and I'm looking at what was the entire year like and what happened. That really helps me like not forget and create greater awareness for myself and for my life and feel like, I got this. I'm doing okay. And I hope that it will help you feel more okay wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, please comment down below what was your favorite one. And I would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. and I'll speak to you in my next one. Bye bye.